For Wednesday, March 29th, from the lectionary, the 22nd chapter of Matthew. That same day, Sadducees came to him, who say that there is no resurrection. And they asked him a question, saying, "Teacher, Moses said, if a man dies having no children, his brother must marry the widow and raise up children for his brother. Now, there were 7 brothers among us. The first married and died, and having no children left his wife to his brother. And so too the second and third, down to the 7th. After them all, the woman died. In the resurrection, therefore, to which of the 7 will she be the wife? For they all had her." But Jesus answered them, "You are wrong, because you know neither the Scriptures nor the power of God. For in the resurrection they neither marry nor are given in marriage, but are like angels in heaven. As for the resurrection of the dead, have you not read what was said to you by God? I am the God of Abraham and the God of Isaac and the God of Jacob. He is not God of the dead, but God of the living." For reflection. The Sadducees thought they had just the right argument to demolish what seemed to them no more than wishful thinking and superstition, namely the notion of a resurrection of the dead. That was the doctrine of the Pharisees, and they may have sussed out that Jesus, who was certainly much closer to the Pharisees than to them, also supported that dubious doctrine. The ridiculous story of the woman who died after being married to 7 brothers in a row seemed the perfect refutation for this heresy, and they were eager to trap Jesus with it. I must admit that Jesus' answer to them seems a bit disappointing, that we will be, as it were, sexless angels in that realm doesn't really seem quite good enough. Our yearning for reunion and the restoration of relationship seems very much a longing that needs to be more honored than it is in this story. But then that's not really the point here. It's not really about the precise description of the afterlife, but rather Jesus' answer to those Sadducees who so utterly trivialized the affirmation of the resurrection with their clever fundamentalistic debating point. What Jesus does is to point to the mystery of the resurrection as located not in such narrative about us, but rather in the mystery and triumph of a living God, a God of life, in whom even the dead live. Thus, Jesus takes the expression of the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob to point to the affirmation that Abraham and Isaac and Jacob are now somehow alive in God, and so we shall be too. Exactly what that means is probably no clearer to us than a precise taxonomy of the angels in heaven. But what is clear is his assertion that the living God is indeed a God of life rather than death. And that is a thought worthy of our meditation as long as we live in this mortal life.